what up? Legit Football NFL Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Phillip Fox, and I am here with my two brothers who we've been doing this all year. We have Eli Dunn from X saying sup y'all already. So that's how you know it's going to be a pop-in show. I'm going to bring him in the order that we are contractually obligated to bring them in. I'm going to start with my boy, Adrian Revito from Down Under. Adrian, how the hell are ya?
I gave myself the royal music. That's a little bit bold of me to do it to myself.
For why? What did you do to earn that?
That's actually a really good point. You know what, though, to answer your first question, to quickly skip off that.
Yeah.
They say don't be sad that it's gone. Be happy that it happened. We're coming to the end of our first season.
Don't
together.
do that to me. Don't. Why? Why are
No,
we
but
getting
I'm happy.
sentimental? You're
I'm
gonna make
happy
me
it's
cry.
happened.
Yeah, me too. I'm exactly.
But I'm happy about the next person coming on.
100%. We have NFL Stats' very own Hemi Ray. Hemi, how the hell are you, brother?
This is a great music choice. I was wondering what he would go with. That's just
I always give you the hip hop.
big hip hop vibes, man. I'm a big hip hop
Royalty-free
guy,
hip-hop.
so I'm ready to hop on that track. Can we run it back?
Yo,
Super Bowl freestyle? Absolutely not. No, I'm not ready for that.
Yo, my name is Jimmy. Okay. Listen, guys, we have an outstanding
We
show
just
for
lost
you
20
today.
viewers.
We have, bye guys. It was real having you. I'm Kevin Phillip Fox. I'm your host. We have Adrian Revito and Jimmy Ray from.
Is he frozen for everyone but me?
He is frozen. Yeah, we can keep it going. But yeah, that's Kevin Phillip Fox.
Scab producer hat. What are we doing here?
Hey, we lost you for a second, but I heard
you
Scab
were dead frozen.
Take us off with Scab producer hat. What are we doing here? What are we getting into?
Right.
How are we starting this bad boy?
So we've got to start. We've got to look back at our championship round predictions.
Oh,
so
no.
this is
Do we have to?
Now, expose the bathroom. When I created these overlays, Kevin Phillip Fox, who is now officially a liar, told me we had a special guest coming on. So you're going to notice that
we did have a special guest coming on.
And it's actually covering Himi's face because they're in the middle because we're meant to be split. So I apologize for that, Himi. There we go.
Almost perfectly balanced across the board.
It really was.
Jimmy, you ruined it. You got greedy.
Wait, what was my other parlay that lost? I don't remember.
You got greedy, man.
Touchdowns. There's two
I'm not,
touchdowns. Amon-Ra and
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Lamar doesn't count. That's 1-1. Let's just call it what it is.
He shouldn't count. It was
a pretty balanced weekend for us all.
Yeah, good weekend. I'm very disappointed with who's in the Super Bowl, as I'm sure 99% of NFL fans are. The Chiefs have become the Patriots, unfortunately. I saw a really, really revealing tweet about when they first went up against the Patriots in the 2018 AFC Championship, and it was like 98% of America was rooting for the Chiefs, and now 98% of America is rooting against the Chiefs. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And Patrick Mahomes and that damn mustache of Andy Reid are the villain. And me personally, biggest Niners Nation fan either of you guys have ever met this weekend. Let's go.
So Kevin isn't biased, right?
He's not even a little bit.
Okay, perfect.
This has nothing to do with anything else.
Finding it hard to be a Niners fan here.
What? Oh, that's right. They sent you home.
Similar situation.
Yeah, it's the same feeling. Jimmy, break the tie here.
Yeah, I'm a 49ers fan here.
Let's go.
Obviously, it's just I'm more of like a parody guy, so like Niners haven't won in a while, so that's what I'll go with. I mean, that's what it. And then dynasties always scare me because the Colts kind of had a thing with the Patriots for quite some time.
Right.
I wouldn't say we're not nearly on that level that we were with like Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. We have AR versus Patrick Mahomes in the future that we'll look forward to, but I think
gonna be fun.
We'll get the best of that when we're healthy and stuff. I'm not worried about that. That's the reason the Chiefs made it. So,
yeah. So listen, guys, this is gonna be an unbelievable Super Bowl. I'm really excited to talk about it. Adrian, do we have anything on the docket pre-Super Bowl?
We've got just one other thing before we jump into the thing, and we're going to talk about NFL honors because there was a couple surprises here. One I know you're not going to be happy about.
No, I'm not. I hate the NFL honors. They're the new Pro Bowl. They're fraudulent. Get them out of here.
I think so. Look, I funnily enough, Lamar Jackson as the MVP. When I went back and you see people compare stats and all that sort of jazz, and it's always usually cherry picked. Kind of not sure if I'm happy with it. Like before, I was like, okay, he's got the MVP, but I'm just not sure. Even you'll love this one. Josh Allen played fantastic, bar a couple of games. Jordan Love outscored him. Not expecting Jordan Love to be in the MVP, but I do feel like it was one of those years where a non-quarterback could have won and should have won.
Mm-hmm.
McCaffrey,
it's for sure.
Yeah.
We need to change up their award system. It just feels like it's unfair. Like McCaffrey obviously got the offensive player of the year, but like I don't know. I mean, quarterbacks are the MVP. They are like the number one guy on the team, but it's just tough. But yeah, I agree. I think at the end of the regular season, we all would have been like, okay, that makes sense. And that's kind of what this award is at the end of the day. So you have to think about it in those terms. But Josh Allen got one vote and people are upset about it. But I think that's kind of fair. I don't feel like
He's
it was
the
like
runner-up again, his third MVP runner-up.
Yeah,
So.
I think in like 5 years, if I look back on this and it was like Lamar won unanimous MVP, I was like, I guess. I mean, I feel like it's more.
Adrian talked about it. I mean, you could cherry pick stats all day, but you look at the raw numbers. You look at who did more to help their team, who the most valuable player was. Everybody in the NFL, unless you're biased, everybody knows who the most valuable player is. It's just, will you give it to somebody who's not on the best team and who has a documented turnover problem? That's ultimately the issue. And then if you factor playoffs into it, which I think you should, you can't really argue against Patrick Mahomes. So I think that, like you said,
voting happens pre-playoffs, right?
It does, but I don't know that it
yeah.
should. I don't know that it should.
That's fair. It's a fair call.
Right?
I think this year so the way I kind of look at this, and it's probably not the way everyone looks at it, is that if Lamar Jackson had played 20% less, would the impact been as big as if Christian McCaffrey or Josh Allen or something played? And to me, McCaffrey is the MVP. And I love Josh Allen, but
I can dig that. I can, yeah.
Like otherwise, just call it the most valuable quarterback. Like stop
Literally,
because he wasn't the most valuable player. And I guess what the counter to that is if they were out of the game. So if you took McCaffrey out of the game or you took Jackson out of the game, they'd probably lose more games losing Lamar Jackson. But it's not the point. Like it's just otherwise it's just a quarterback award.
I will say off of what Kevin said about like the playoffs, I feel like I want to keep it in the regular season, to be honest, because I feel like the playoffs have its own rewards and like accolades that you can win in terms of like winning the Super Bowl. Maybe make more accolades for the playoffs, but I don't know. I feel like we have to have something to where like we dignify like, hey, these are the guys who played well in the regular season. Like Peyton Manning won five MVPs because he was great in the regular season. Had some mishaps in the playoffs at times. I don't know. Maybe just
I get that.
Have more or have, but I just feel like Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion. You get those AFC championships. That's like winning is where it matters in the playoffs. So that just
and everybody knows it's a regular season award, right? So you have to factor that in. That's a good point, Jimmy. I just feel like the fanfare. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, like this is our first year. Mine and your Adrian's first year covering the NFL a lot. I personally think that the fanfare of the NFL, when you're kind of a lot closer to it and spending a lot more time, you sort of like we talk about a lot of it kind of exposes the bathrobe a little bit. It's almost like the Oscars, or like the Grammys. Like really, with all due respect, it's a political thing. It's a popularity thing. You can't really equate greatness or value. You can't quantify it. So when you try to, it gets ugly and gross and confusing. And I mean, we can call it what it is. Comeback player of the year not being Damar Hamlin, in my opinion, is also not great. I think that's also
what I thought you'd hate.
That's also a bad look for the NFL, I think. I mean, homie, okay, number of times you died and come back to life. Damar Hamlin is tied with Jesus Christ for resurrections. Okay, and we're gonna knock the man who tied Jesus's record, single season record for most resurrections. I'm just joking, but I don't like it.
But it's also accurate.
Right. Like I mean, it sounds like a joke, but it's real. So I like Joe Flacco and I like the story. And if it was like most valuable return to form from a huge career dip, that's different from literally come back. It's all just so
there's not like there's such a subjective way of like comeback player of the year. Like if it was most improved, like NBA has most improved, but I don't believe they have comeback player of the year.
That's a good point. Yeah,
they have the MIP award. Like Oladipo, like a lot of Pacers players have won that. That's the only reason I probably have to know that.
Hey, Pacers are good this year. McFadden would kill me if he knew I was talking NBA, but y'all got that Halliburton kid, man. He's good. That's a good player.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We always got a good team, and then we always have one good player, and then we kind of stay.
We have a lifetime ban from talking about the NBA on this podcast, but go Nick. I think the awards are a sham.
There's a question from Aman here about the awards, as in asking if it should be announced before division round or conference title games.
I don't know if
Makes
it
more
changes
sense to
anything.
have. Yeah, I don't think it
to
makes
me.
more sense to do like the kind of buy. They have a lot of stuff going, like the buy 2 weeks kind of. I'm surprised
Yeah.
they
I
did like
think that's
the
what it
tickets
is. I
for it,
think
but
NFL is
I
good
don't
at
know.
they're great at spreading out the time when there's no games, and they do this fantastically in the off season because the Super Bowl's over and it's like, oh wait, then there's the draft. Oh wait, like they've got before that they've got the now I'm blanking on it where they do the dashes and all that sort of jazz.
The Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl games,
No. They where you've got like all your college athletes coming doing their 40-yard
Oh, the
dash.
Junior
combine.
Senior Bowl. Oh,
Combine, sorry, yeah,
combine.
combine. You're right, not
Got you.
yeah, the combine, and then you got the
Yeah.
draft, and then like
Lot.
then you got the preseason. So like they really do spread it out, and I think that's why they do it when they do it because no one's paying attention to the NFL in the week before Super Bowl, except for they throw the Pro Bowl in, they'll throw the honors in, and that's something.
Yeah, let's talk about it really quick, just because, like, I kind of started to go on this rant, and I detoured a little bit, but out of 1 to 10, how much importance do you guys place on the honors versus the Pro Bowl? Let's do both separately because they're two separate things.
Look, 0 to the Pro Bowl. Didn't watch it.
0.
I watched,
-1
I'll
for
be
me.
honest with you.
I
You know what I did
actively
watch?
hate it. What?
You know what I did watch? I watched the accuracy
Yeah.
game they put there. That was cool. Where they had like moving targets in this.
Dan Orlovsky played well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw he did. I saw he scored better than Tua.
Yeah, he scored
That's
better than
funny.
everybody. Scored
That's
better than
pretty
everybody.
funny.
He was
But
number one.
FYI NFL, I only watched it at 5:45 a.m. when my infant child was awake and I needed something to do.
Yeah.
So don't be that selling the
They
Pro Bowl
should
games
put it
to
on
me.
5:45 a.m. in America, because then they'll know who the true fans are. Because I ain't
Yeah.
watching it when it's in prime time. Hell no.
I had it on in the background, but like when it was like 40-30 in first half, and then they were doing games like in halftime, I was like what the heck's going on right now? I mean, they're trying. I think it's more for the players. I don't think it's necessary for the fans, unless you're actually going to it,
It
which
used
would
to
be
mean
fun.
something.
Yeah,
It used to
it
be-
used to, but I understand why the players aren't going to
Maybe
hurt themselves.
Like, no offense, but like we got Gardner Minshew. No offense, Jimmy. Like, we got Snoop Huntley
Yeah.
last year was the nod. Look, like, I think Josh Allen, and this is sort of where I'll make it personal. Josh Allen has been a main vote Pro Bowl snub a handful of times in his career. He doesn't go now. If he gets invited after the fact or even initially, he doesn't go. I think it's a middle finger to the league for having snubbed him so many times. I also don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this will transition our talk to the NFL honors. He didn't, even though he was a finalist for MVP, he didn't show up there either. He actually did Barstool Sports public media trivia during the honors.
Wow.
And learned of his runner-up MVP status from a Barstool media guy. And he said, "That's great. I'm honored. Haha." And then kept doing trivia. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about Josh Allen's decision to do that? And how do you guys feel about the honors on the whole?
You can take this one, Jimmy. I'll go next.
The honors as a whole, I mean, it's. I mean, people want accolades and stuff. I mean, it's very like contract driven when you have those kind of accolades. But if you have a good enough agent, I feel like, hey, here's what I've actually done. Here are my statistics. Here's like the film, like why I'm a good like piece of your team. I feel like at the end of the day, that's most important. But when we look back like 5-10 years, like past people's career, we will see these accolades. And like I'm NFL Stats, well, obviously, like I post these accolades, like. Certain players are like, wow, like Matthew Stafford only has 2 Pro Bowls, or like Joe Flacco. I know that's like a random one, but he has no Pro Bowls because he like declined an alternate decision. He has the most career passing yards without a Pro Bowl selection. So it's just like, it's kind of one of those things where like it isn't important in like the moment, like, oh, but contract driven, like players like wanting to be rewarded regardless. Like money's only goes so far. You want that reward. And then looking back on like your legacy and stuff, you want to build that legacy. And when it's just like, when you don't win that, I feel like that's like, I don't know if the players like care that much, but it's like, wow, like the legacy kind of gets beat up there for like all pros, Pro Bowl. Like there's so many random people making these picks too. I feel like media members and stuff. It's weird.
I'd give it a 3 out of 10 for importance personally.
I think the awards,
for the honors in general.
Honors,
So I'll check the honors outcomes on NFL.com. Miss me with the broadcast and the Pro Bowl. To be honest with you, I'm not going to watch it. I just want to know who did it. It matters to me who gets the MVP, I guess, and it's nice to see the rookies get noticed. But you can just miss me with a live broadcast and an award show. Relax.
That's fair. I'll give it a 5.
we appreciate this comment, man. Showing love to the emails. Yeah. Our team that works at Legit Football are absolute rock stars, and we really appreciate you opening the emails every day and coming and check out our podcast. Thank you so much, Titan Maximum. Sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
Appreciate you,
I
bro.
was just gonna say I'll give it a 5, just like incorporating like all of what I said, like why it's important to certain people. And I do care about it a little bit. I think it's fun, but I don't take it too much. Like I think Max Crosby deserved a couple of votes for like Defensive Player of the Year and stuff like that, but unfortunately he didn't get it. So there's a lot of good players in the NFL overall too. So it's tough.
It's so hard
Was
for me.
anyone else shocked by Myles Garrett? Sorry to cut you off. Was anyone else shocked by Myles Garrett as the DPOY? I kind of didn't expect that.
Over TJ? Did people think it was going to be TJ?
There was a stretch, and I was going to try and find the clip where I said Myles Garrett has played himself out of the DPOY because he hadn't sacked for about 5 games straight.
Yeah.
And he just started to taper off. So just kind of at the end there, I didn't expect that. I just didn't expect it. Even Max Crosby, and I said this a couple of times during the season, we weren't talking about him in the conversation, and he should have been. No, but TJ Watt statistically in every defensive statistical category that matters did better.
Yeah. It's weird, man. It's a really weird thing that they do. And I'm telling you, this is where the legitimacy comes into question a lot for me. And I try to like stay out of like the tin hat stuff. Like I'm not really a tinfoil hat kind of guy, but like the honors in the Pro Bowl have really been polluted with like popularity and groupthink, like toxic groupthink, like to the point where
narrative driven too.
Narrative driven. I just don't really feel like it adds any. I don't think that there's any legitimacy, unfortunately. And I love the NFL like as much as anything. If I love anything as much as the NFL, it's being an artist and being a creative person, like films and music and stuff. And I have learned to not take the Oscars or the Grammys seriously because art is subjective. I think great NFL play, great NFL talent is also subjective. And I think awards in general, however important they are to people, I'm not that kind of person. I don't think awards are important. I think they're a bit, I don't want to say degrading, but I think they kind of oversimplify and that don't take into account all the nuance of creativity and artistry and all that, or also obviously NFL play and value to a team or how great your comeback is, for God's sakes. So, I don't mean to rain on anybody's parade who cares about it. Same with the Pro Bowl. If you enjoy it, good for you. That's awesome. More power to you. I always say life is better when you try to enjoy things. I enjoy things more often than I don't. But when I don't, there's usually a very good reason why. And I hope that I can illuminate why it is I don't care for these extra curriculars. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I feel illuminated, to be honest with you.
Really? You don't really?
Yeah, that's actually the exact word I was thinking. I was like,
couldn't tell if is that sarcasm?
Like, this is what it was like, and then you started talking, and I was just like,
Adrian's a pretty sarcastic guy, so I don't know if he's being serious or not. But
he seems serious. He seems very serious.
Minorly sarcastic. It's a bit of both. Hey,
I like it. Keep me on my toes. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I was gonna say I agree with you 100%. If people say like stats and stuff like need some context, awards need like 5 times, 10 times the amount of context because there's so many more stories and stuff behind the scenes. Let's take a broader scope and just do some just do more research. Go deeper into the NFL than just awards.
Yeah. Do you guys ever like look at they do it for the NBA a lot. I'm not sure if it's as common in football, but some of the retrospective MVP decisions in both of those sports are silly. When you look at who wins it over who deserved it, some of the MVP, like Kobe Bryant, I believe, had one season where I think it was Steve Nash that they gave it to. Oh my word, this man was robbed. And it's like they do it in the NFL all the time. And Adrian was talking about it with TJ Watt. I mean, you can't get it right. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So keep it if you need it for, like Jimmy said, contracts and commemorating stuff. The last thought on it before we put a bow on it, because it's a good conversation. I'm glad. I feel like legit football is better when there's a little bit of healthy discourse and a little bit of, maybe controversial opinions. We'll get weird with it. Puka Nacua probably should have been Rookie of the Year. I love CJ Stroud and I love the Texans, but Puka Nacua set records. And I think that's kind of unfortunate that I think that's kind of unfortunate that we won't remember him as like the offensive Rookie of the Year, given the stuff that he did this year.
Yeah, I think we will still. I think it'll be fine. And CJ Stroud broke it. I don't know. It was kind of a mixed bag for me. I was like, Puka should win it, but CJ will win it.
Right.
I think they both. Let's just give it to both of them. I mean, but yeah, Puka holds that record forever. So
Yeah,
not forever.
to me,
Until next,
Puka was
until next guy.
but it was the OPOY.
Yeah.
Sorry. O'Roy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Rookie
Roy.
of the year. You know what I'm
Offensive
saying?
pass interference.
McCaffrey be damned.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua is here. No, he was sensational, and there's no other word for it. But this has been an outstanding discussion. I've really enjoyed it, and getting in the weeds with you guys and getting a little philosophical, right? Like analytics are important to this show. Narratives and eye test is important, but we're philosophical dudes too.
Philosophy matters.
We can riff, wax poetic as much as we want.
Yeah, we meditated before this.
We did. You guys don't know this, but we
Yeah.
meditated in the pre-show lobby together, and we all are we've all reached nirvana now, and
Yeah,
that's why we're above awards. And
complete in a piece.
We're better than that.
Yeah.
So
we're better than you.
without further ado, AJ and Ravito, are we ready to hit the next topic? Ladies and gentlemen, the hay is in the barn. We have the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers in Las Vegas. The 49ers at 2-point favorites with an over-under of 47.5. You guys, this is it. This is the big dance. This is the big ticket. This is what all the kids, probably the three of us included, dream about in their backyard when they're throwing their Nerf football in their Drew Bledsoe, Peyton Manning, and Brett Favre jerseys. This is what we were dreaming about, and now it's here. The Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes versus Brock Purdy, one of the best playmakers in NFL history versus already one of the best game managers in NFL history. Guys, where do we start with this game?
Well, I was wondering about where we start with this game as well, and I thought maybe it might be useful if we just break this down. And I'm just going to take one side of one team, and then I'm going to shut up for a minute.
Please.
So I just want to talk about.
I don't mean please shut up. I mean please take
both. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both,
be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with the side of the ball. So I'm not a Chiefs fan in this game. Before I get into the actual game, I'm not a Chiefs fan in this game, as I said at the start. I don't want the Chiefs to win, but I'm trying to not want that. I'm going to explain why. I've said this on the show before, but just for anyone who's new listening, my best friend is a Patriots fan. And so for the past 15 years, let's say, no matter what I said, no matter what the Packers did, yeah, but Tom Brady, yeah, but Tom Brady, yeah, but 6 rings, yeah, but like, and it was infuriating. And then he went to Tampa and won again. And I hated him so much because he was so successful that I missed the greatness. And I missed seeing this guy who is undoubtedly the best player they've like my first show here ever. I said to you, Kevin, and to Brian, that I talked about the story and said that Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady debate goes on, and Brian just tore me apart. He's like, there's no conversation. And he's right. So what I'm saying here is that we're about to see Patrick Mahomes 6 straight AFC championships, 3 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowls, going for his 3rd win here. This dude is like unbelievably great. And here's what the reason Chiefs are here is the reason they're in the game. And I'm really just trying to enjoy the greatness. So if I can say anything to everyone who hates on the Mahomes thing, and if you haven't got a personal bid in it like Kevin Phillip Fox because he's knocked you guys out, and I understand that, just try to enjoy the fact that this man is a magician. Is that fair? Like, am I being too philosophical there?
It's
like,
a really good take.
No, I mean,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we've seen it with Tom Brady where like he had some outstanding seasons, but he also had some seasons where like the Patriots as a whole didn't look as good. And that was after a couple Super Bowls. And we were like, oh, like the Patriots aren't going to make the Super Bowl this year. So it's anybody's game. And then they make the Super Bowl and then they win it all. So that's how I feel like this is so like this relates to Tom Brady and like the Patriots dynasty so well, because this year it was a different story for the Chiefs, right? Like last year, they were like, oh, Tyreek Hill's gone, and they still made the Super Bowl. They still won it. But I feel like they played better last year. And now this year, they're a lot more of a defensive team. We saw it against the Ravens, right? We saw them not score a single point in the second half in the AFC Championship game against like Lamar Jackson. That, I mean, obviously the Ravens defense played out of their mind, but we obviously saw them kind of play a little differently there. But they still have so many playmakers on offense that they can make something happen. And Patrick Mahomes, but Steve Spagnuolo on the defensive side of the ball, he's a defensive genius. They have a great secondary and like Justin Reed, L'Jarius Sneed. They have Nick Bolton. They have Chris Jones. They have Drew Tranquil. I mean, they have so many like playmakers top to bottom on the defense that That's one of those things that led them to the Super Bowl, and I feel like the Patriots have had that happen to them a lot too. So, not to just like Patriots Chiefs it, but that's the storyline for the Super Bowl for the Chiefs specifically. So,
yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you both more. And me over here, literally the definition of sour grapes, not just with Mahomes, but with Brady. My first couple of Bills games that I ever went to were Bills Patriots games, and I went home sad because of number 12. Now my Bills are perennial contenders, and they're in the dance every year, and they go. And I am a grown man crying sad, because of number 15. So yeah, I'm sour grapes towards both of those players, but I will never ever in my life overlook greatness, Adrian. I appreciate you bringing that up. That's important to address and important to talk about. I get a lot of flack in my house. My girlfriend is a converted Bills fan. She's very passionate like myself. And when I say things, we'll be watching Bills Chiefs and Mahomes will do something that's just remarkable. And I'll be like, he's incredible. And she gets mad at me. She's like, don't say that. I hate him. He's Kermit the Frog. And I'm like, I know, babe. Like, I know I agree. Like, we hate him because we're fans, but like, babe, he's remarkable. He's special. Like he's the plays he makes. And it was the play in the AFC Championship game where he extended the play and made the most off platform throw. And Kelsey was lunging full speed opposite from the direction he was running. And I was like,
so ridiculous.
And I was like, I hate them, but I respect them. Like it is what it is. Like greatness is not lost on me. I love watching LeBron play. I'm super happy we live in the time of LeBron. I love watching Mahomes play, even though I hate him. I do root on his downfall, 100%, and I always will. But when he inevitably makes me sad about him not failing, I can't help but just say, good job, buddy. You did it, and I don't love the theatrics, and I don't love the nobody believed in us. Like, yes, they did, bro. What are you in the Chiefs, bro? You shut up. Like, no offense. Like, whatever. I think great teams manufacture chips on their shoulder. The Bengals did it really well last year with the whole ticket thing. It's really cringy and it's hard to look at from the outside looking in. But when you're in that band of brothers mentality and you're a fan of that team and you are galvanized by the shenanigans, really, for lack of a better term, it's good leadership and it's good coaching. And Brady did it too. Brady did the same freaking thing.
We're still here. I remember we're still here.
Yeah. The great ones do it. They just know how to do it. They know how to manufacture that adversity, manufacture that chip on their shoulder. So I think philosophically, that's a great place to start our discussion. I'm ready to dive into the X's and O's if you guys are.
Let's do it.
Because I think go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, on the other side of the ball, we have the team, I would say, that has been the most complete team in the entire NFL this season. And they've had the most dominant stretches. Yes, they got dog walked by the Ravens, but so much for that narrative, right? With how Lamar kind of pooped his pants a little bit, and really the whole Ravens team kind of pooped their pants in that game against the Chiefs last 2 weeks ago now. So I personally think that this game is going to come down to how well can Brock Purdy overcome the noise, overcome the talk, overcome everything that's been placed on him as a limited player, game manager, this, that, and the third. I think Brock Purdy is the key to this game because I think the Chiefs, Jimmy's pointed out how outstanding the defensive talent on the Kansas City Chiefs has been this year. I think they're going to do everything in their power to take away the right hand of the Chiefs, and I think that, or of the 49ers, and I think that's Christian McCaffrey. So I think Brock Purdy's going to have to make the scheduled throws that he's supposed to make. I think he's going to have to keep the 49ers on track. And I think that is one of the key matchups of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? And I shout out because Himi Ray, you're always on the money and talking about Spags being just an absolute genius here. He disguises coverage just about as good as Brian Flores at the start of the season, probably the only one that got, I reckon, a bit close, but he's just the master of it. And the Chiefs play in too high safety more than any other team in the league this year. And they probably won't do that because they've got to take McCaffrey out of the game a little bit. But I think the key is his players rotate into their position after the snap, and it confuses quarterbacks. It will confuse Brock Purdy. It confused Tua in their opening playoff game, and that's when he threw that interception. It just makes him hold on to the ball just a second a little bit longer. A second a little too long. So I think if Brock Purdy gets confused, you're right. He tends to spiral a little bit. Whereas Mahomes, you've seen in the postseason, you might throw an interception, but he comes back out and he's good. Whereas Brock Purdy, when he throws it in, he kind of spirals. So I think he needs to keep himself on track. I actually think that the opening drive in this game for the 49ers is more important than what it normally would be. I think you need to start fast. They do score in the opening drive 58% of the time, more than any team in the league. The next best is 41% for a bit of context. So Brock Purdy needs to come out. He needs to start fast because Spags will change every quarter, every half. You will not see the same defense. So Brock Purdy at some point, I think, is going to get short, and he needs to be able to keep that kind of keep himself on board with a few, I guess, notches on the belt.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like Spags, and then there's Shanahan on the other side of the ball. I feel like that between those two on the offensive scheming and the defensive scheming is going to be very, very significant to this game. But I talked about the Chiefs kind of defense as well, but the 49ers defense, they're stacked as well. They have Nick Bosa going at the Chiefs offensive line, which I think is another one of those key matchups where if they can get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, I'm not saying like Patrick Mahomes is going to make too many mistakes, but like you have to pressure Patrick Mahomes or he's just going to drill you. And that's what the 49ers can do with Nick Bosa and sometimes Chase Young on the other side of the ball. But I mean, that linebacker duo with Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner is absolutely elite. And they have Tre'Davious Ward in the secondary. So they have a lot of pieces that can stop Patrick Mahomes. It's just whether or not that's like they can get the pressure and actually make it happen, or if Mahomes will like get the Travis Kelce type play, or Taylor Swift's boyfriend's type play, and kind of make that happen. Sorry, I just just in case anybody was wondering,
we're contractually obligated to mention it at least once. We are, we do cover the NFL, so we kind of have to.
Yeah, I got an angry email last time. We didn't mention her enough. So.
Oh yeah, just absolutely scathing. They've said the only reason we come back is for Adrian's handsome smile. So
that's why I come back. Yeah,
I the same. Honestly, going. Let's be real here. So yeah. So I think you both have outstanding takes on the game, and yeah, Adrian, I couldn't. They need to show
a little shoddy.
Connection shoddy. Am I back?
We're back.
I heard you couldn't agree, and then I didn't hear the rest.
I couldn't agree more about the first drive being the most important drive of the game for the 49ers. They got to stay on schedule. They need to get points. They need to put the momentum on their half because they're that kind of team. They're almost like I don't know if there's a term for it. I think there might be a metaphor about like a Venus flytrap or something. Like all you have to do is like get them in your grip, and then you can. The 49ers are stifling. But if they're not built to come back, and they somehow managed to do it last week against the Lions, which was
and
really
against
remarkable.
The Packers too,
and against the Packers, and that's kind of what's been cool to watch them do is sort of change their formula from the regular season. But I don't really know if we're going to see that against the Chiefs. Because I don't think a Mahomes-led offense who has the pressure on them to keep pace or come back. I don't think they'll shrivel the way that Goff did and the way, no offense, Adrian, that Jordan Love did. I think that the Chiefs have the counter punch for the 49ers knockout punch. So it's going to be a full tilt battle. And God, I do have a lean for which way I'm going in terms of picking it, but it goes against all my best instincts to make the pick that I want to make. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before we make picks?
I still got some stuff, but I hear on this. I have to sorry.
Yeah.
This is the title maximum because we appreciate everything about the email, but I'm just warning you that after the Super Bowl breakdown, we're going to let Kevin tackle this one, and you can just expect some fire and brimstone. I'm just warning you. All right, let's move on. So I think you got L'Jarius Sneed on the Chiefs D is going to be a massive, massive problem. Targeting Sneed, you have negative 21 APA against, which is expected points out of anyone who doesn't know. Against the rest of the team is plus 17. Where I do agree, Bosa is going to be a real problem. Jawan Taylor's on the left side, on the right side. He's going to be up against Bosa. He's got a pretty terrible PFF. I can't remember what it was, 50 something. And he's been a bit of a joke.
What a bust of a signing, right? They thought they shored up the position with him.
Yeah, and so there's I do
Joe
think
Thuney's out per A-bomb. Just saying, just throwing that out there as well. Another one.
Yeah, so I think that the 49ers, this is what I'm saying, the first drive's most important. I don't think the Chiefs are going to come out all guns blazing. I don't think they're going to be scoring on every drive. I know they came out against the Ravens, they went right down the field. And so I'm kind of like, and I don't know about you guys here, but I'm kind of like, if 49ers win the coin toss, I'm team give me the ball, get a
Mm,
score on the board, and then
mm.
try and slow it down because Spags likes, like I said, he likes to play too high safety. They're still going to do that. They might dare McCaffrey to run a little bit. And if the box is a little lighter, you can really slow the game and keep that time of position in your favor. This game is, I feel like it's going to be closer, but I'm also against everything I talk about. Because I talked about defense, but almost everything I've said here. I just think it's going to be a big game. Like, I think it's going to be a huge game. In fact, I put real currency on over 60 total points.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. I don't know why. I feel like it's going to be a classic. It might be an
I hope
overtime
so,
game.
dude.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
But we have a
And
couple good offenses, so
Wow.
we'll get to it in prop. We've got Prop-a-palooza coming up. We'll get
Love
there.
Prop-a-palooza. It's my favorite thing.
yeah. One big shout out is Isaiah Pacheco. I feel like you said, if they don't come out like guns blazing with Patrick Mahomes, they could just establish the run, and then they're like, oh, Pacheco can actually like do his little run that he does not little run, like huge run that he does every time. Just like the way he runs, all like straight up and stuff. It's awesome to watch, and it's like the best running back that Patrick Mahomes has had by far. Mahomes.
He's from Boston.
Patrick Mahomes.
No, 100%. Isaiah Pacheco is the best running back that Mahomes has ever played with. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Unless you count Shady McCoy for legacy, but
sure.
Bet the rent on everything Pacheco. Actually, sorry. Let me be because sometimes I say bet the rent. You're like, oh, he must be joking. Listen to me. Take your rent money, even if it's due tomorrow, and put it on Pacheco's over.
He did this with Jaden Reed, people. Don't listen to him.
No. But this time I'm for real.
I live in a cardboard box, you guys.
1-800 Gamble responsibly.
I've made up the pipe story. I'm living at my brother-in-law's because of Adrian's bad bets.
Gamble responsibly, everybody.
On a serious note, they're both defenses are ranked 21st and 22nd in run defense. I think the run is the way you get at this. You're always going to get those big plays from Mahomes through the air, but I could see Pacheco going off. I could see McCaffrey going off, and actually another, because I love to bet on weird things for the Super Bowl.
Me too.
I bet for one player to hit 150 yards rushing, and I'm kind of feeling good about it. Yeah, I got this image in my mind like an absolute classic is coming.
I like it. I think we need to take away Adrian's DraftKings account.
Definitely.
Is it even legal there?
I'm starting to worry for his future.
I don't have any legitimate accounts. I've been banned from everything.
These bets that he's making. Did I freeze?
I hear you.
I knew it.
There we go.
We have Titan Maximum, who, by the way, has brought some wonderful things to the chat today. The best bets is don't bet. Also, Cody Dunbar, Chiefs will win coming from a Giants fan. Go Spags. And Cody, we like your swag in your profile picture. You're a real NFL fan. We respect that a lot. So guys, we will get to Prop-a-palooza in no time. I will go through every single parlay that I have with you guys because I'm emptying the clip for this game. I'm going to take a little gambling break after, so I'm going all out. But we have one more thing to get to in our game preview, and that is a score prediction. So around the horn, starting with Adrian, kick us off.
All right, so I'm going to give my over 60 points total. I'm going to give this a 34-31 win in overtime for the 49ers. I'm standing by my guns.
I love that.
I'm going to sleep better at night if I go ahead and just pick the Chiefs, because if I pick against the Chiefs again and they win again, I'll be upset. So, I mean, you know what? Shout out Chiefs, whatever. Chiefs win 28-24. I've gone back and forth. I might change my mind by Sunday, but this will help me sleep at night, at least for tonight. So.
Yeah, I love that pick, Jimmy. And I wanted to make the same pick because I also like to sleep, but I won't be doing that. It's not an emotional hedge situation for me. I'm going with my head and my heart. The only thing that says Chiefs is my gut, unfortunately, which is what I try to go with the most often. But we're analysts, baby. Like, I got to go with my head here. Mate. I got bad news for you, mate. I personally think the San Francisco 49ers are going to win the game, and I'm going to say that they're going to win it in a similar fashion to Adrian, but I'll say 33-27.
Wow.
I don't know if a push
good games.
I don't know if a push cashes for you, Adrian, but I'm pretty.
You froze again.
Oh, you froze again. I like how he looks right now.
He
It's
looks
interesting.
great. Sometimes you freeze and you look terrible, but he looks fantastic. I will say this: watch us get like a 13-10 Super Bowl. Like watch, like we're all predicting these gigantic.
Yeah.
So stay
Yeah.
back
I'm
in
back.
line.
What was the
Was
last
that
thing I said? Does a 60-point cash for you, Age? That was the last thing I remember.
No, 60.5 plus.
Oh, crap. Okay. Then
Yeah, we're gonna get a Ravens Patriots type game now, aren't we?
I predict that you're gonna lose your money.
13-3 or something.
So fellas,
Yeah.
Prop-a-palooza.
Hold on. I got it.
Oh, we have a drop for this.
It covers us. Well, again, we were meant to have 4 people here. But that's okay.
Big fat.
Yeah, it's all me now.
I love it. I want to be transparent with you guys. And Adrian, if you want to track these with me, I'll give you them in order so you know what exactly they're grouped with. So you know, but I can give you every single leg that I'm betting.
Do it.
Are we ready? I'm gonna go rapid fire.
Go. I'm gonna mute myself so you kind
MVS over 19.5 receiving yards. Deebo Samuel less than 17.5 rushing yards. George Kittle more than 4 receptions. Christian McCaffrey over 127.5 all-purpose yards. Rashee Rice more than 9 targets.
Wow.
Isaiah Pacheco more than 20.5 rushing yards in his first 5 attempts. That's all one parlay. That's my first one. Should I keep going?
Cash.
I actually love that. Can I tell you that's a really good
tail it.
only one
at least.
Tail it.
I'm not sure about Rashee Rice with 9 targets.
He gets 7 catches a game. I mean,
hey, yeah, I picked him catches last time. You guys were upset.
Yeah.
You did, but I think that's why you know what Holmes is like. He's got so many people that he spreads the ball around to. Sometimes Rice will get it, sometimes Kelsey won't stop, and then sometimes James. Sometimes
Jawan Taylor.
No, I'm thinking of Jawan Taylor. But sometimes like some random turns up, not Kadarius Toney in this case, but Sky Moore or some. So I don't know about him getting that many targets, but otherwise I love that bet.
I like the Kittle bet a lot. Oh, he's frozen again.
Yeah.
He looks scary.
Angry that I
he looks angry right now.
I'm talking smack about his Rashee Rice.
Yeah, but I like the Kittle bet a lot. Not too sure about the Deebo and maybe Deebo and McCaffrey. That's always a surefire bet. Get him like 100 yards and a touchdown. If I could bet that, absolutely.
I'd even think about like, look, I feel like the Super Bowl's time to play weird people, and I could see like, I don't know, like I could see like Elijah Mitchell getting a random couple rushes in there. I could see Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I've got him for over 6.5 rushing yards. I really like that one. Because I feel like they're going to throw in some random stuff just to try and trick.
Yeah, like I think there's a bet where you can bet like over 2.5 players to pass a touchdown.
Yeah,
like getting that in there, that would be interesting. But I like Kyle Juszczyk too. He scored a touchdown last time they played against each other.
Agreed.
So I could definitely see that happening again. I think Kevin left us. I'm sure he'll come
He
back.
did.
But
that's okay.
Just that's the elephant in the room right now. But did you have any bets did you want to throw out there right now?
Yes, I got a couple. So for me, I have. So when Super Bowl comes around, I do this thing where like I do like a gigantic parlay, like I'm talking 15, 18 legs, where it's like you put $10 and you can win 50 grand. And so I always do something like that. So I'm not going to go through all of those because that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mentioned Clyde Edwards-Helaire, over 6.5 rushing yards. There's our main man.
Hi, boys.
Hi, Kevin.
We missed you, man.
We missed you.
That was horrible. That was alone in like this.
It was like when there was 2 Jimmys a couple weeks ago.
That was so scary. I was alone. What did I miss?
We like some of your picks.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to keep going? I have so many.
We had Adrian starting, but yeah.
Please go off, Adrian. I want to listen.
So I mentioned that I do a bunch of gigantic parlays, which I'm not going to go through, but a couple that I like. Pacheco over 67.5 rush yards. I feel like that's free money.
Yep.
I've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting over 6.5 rush yards. I was just saying I feel like weird players get little trick plays and things like that, and he gets a couple touches every game or most games.
Yep.
Total rushing yards over 230 across both teams. I love that.
That's free money.
Yeah. I would put Bosa to have 2 sacks.
Ooh,
I think that's it. Like, and that's paying plus 350.
That's extreme. That's extreme.
But I agree. But I just like I don't trust Jawan Taylor.
But it's
I feel like
Pat
Bosa's
Mahomes,
going to eat here. Believe me, but that's why I was paying plus 350. Like if I'm thinking of value. DraftKings had one that I thought was fantastic. This is plus 700. So most passing yards, Mahomes. Most receiving yards, Kelsey. Most rushing yards, McCaffrey.
Oh yeah.
That's a 3-way parlay.
Ooh.
For plus 700, I feel like that's laughing.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys over under. The amount of times you hear Tony Romo absolutely fawning over Patrick Mahomes. Over under being set at 3,650.
Over.
How many
Yeah,
times?
that makes sense.
What's the
Huh?
number?
What he just said.
3,650.
Yeah.
So
Probably over.
3-hour broadcast. Yeah. I'll take the over.
I would say 6.5.
1,200 an hour.
6.5. Genuinely, Tony.
I would
Romo just
genuinely take
fawning.
the over still.
Yeah, I would take the over. Absolutely. That's easy.
Yeah. I love this. Armand's gonna parlay CMC and Noah Gray anytime touchdown. I love that. That's
All right.
I think that's fair. I think that's a
Gray.
really good one.
I have Noah Gray receptions at 1.5.
Yeah,
Prize
yeah.
Picks is doing a half passing yard for Patrick Mahomes. That's free money. Obviously, you want to pair that with something you think is really something you're really confident in. I paired it with McCaffrey 2 touchdowns for a payout boost.
Love that.
Kelsey receiving yards I like. How do you guys feel about the quarterbacks combining for less than 1.5 picks?
I couldn't pick this
I
one. I
took-
thought about it.
Combining
that
for
As in
For
Under
less than 1.5 picks. So
that's
one max.
interesting. Yeah.
I
I
took
like it.
Nah, I couldn't do it
it.
because
How do
I
you
feel
guys
like
feel
it's either
about
one or two.
one of the kickers making a 48+ yard field goal?
Ah,
I like
Butker,
that.
easily.
I could see Butker making that for sure.
Couldn't
Yeah,
see
man.
Jake Moody making it.
Yeah, man.
Maybe.
That's the majority of my picks. Who do we collectively as legit want to put our first touchdown scorer parlay on?
Ooh.
I
McCaffrey's
hate
a good
first
bet.
touchdown. McCaffrey's a good bet. Yeah.
He's a good bet. It's got to be the bet, right?
That might be too easy of a pick, though. Do we
But
want
I was
to
going
that's
to say
the-
he's the favorite.
Yeah,
But
that might be
sometimes
that's
that's
gonna be the favorite easily.
So you throw 20 on it. What's the payout? Like 100?
Not probably.
No,
not.
I think it's
60.
So 3
I'll do
X.
some-
60, it's 40. I don't know.
That's kind
I'll
of
do some
poopy.
looking.
Yeah, do some looking. Any other props that we want to get into, Jimmy?
I
Have you
can
given
throw
us- Yeah.
No, so I haven't like curated my exact like props. I'm doing that tomorrow, so I'm excited to get in the lab tomorrow, and you guys
Love
are helping
that.
me with that a little
Please
bit.
tweet
I
them or
found-
text them to us. Text our group chat.
I will.
right.
I'll just send you my parlays,
Please,
and
please.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I have 5 throughout there. Ooh, I put 1 on. Nobody to score 2 touchdowns. That was plus
Okay.
140. Plus 140. I feel like plus money for nobody to score 2 touchdowns in a game. That's not too bad.
But in a game with McCaffrey, though, that's just such.
I know. I think that's why
Yeah,
it's
risk.
like plus money.
It's a huge risk.
Longest drive, 80+ yards. I think there's going to be a drive. There's going to be 1 or 2 drives. That's like.
Is that plus
okay.
money?
I can't remember. I think it is plus or
Yam
it's
that.
close at least.
Yam that.
Yeah.
You guys,
Absolutely.
we're breaking the betting code. They don't. This is the
Absolutely.
show they don't want you to know about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Put the money. Put your rent on it. Like
Yeah,
Adrian
that
would
one I
say.
put my rent on.
last week, the scathing email was about Taylor Swift. This one is about. It's from DraftKings this week.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Frozen on the pulse,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin
Comes
to
back.
freeze every 5 minutes
Plus
minus
one.
350.
Yeah, that's
Minus
easy money.
350.
That is.
Travis Kelsey touchdown. I feel like that's like maybe I could throw that in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Tails is gonna hit. Tails is gonna hit. If it's hit 30 times out of the last 57 times, I know that's like almost 50-50, but give me Tails, dude. Tails never fails. Tails never fails. Reba McEntire too. She's doing the national anthem. So
Under.
I have her. I have her to wear white boots at plus 500.
Oh, I love that. That's a good. Those are
Yeah.
good odds.
I know. I
Plus-
found
plus
that. I was
500.
like, yeah, I think white boots just feels like the right answer for like the Vegas Chiefs are in it. Feels like 49ers. I mean, there's some white in there somewhere. So why not?
Yeah.
That's what I would go with if I was singing in boots.
Well, how many times is Taylor Swift going to be shown?
6.
I think
Say
more.
9. Say 9.
I think 6 and Kelsey's
9.
going to go off,
Nice.
and they go to her after every Kelsey touch. So I'd say
Yeah,
9.
it dependent. It's very dependent on like Kelsey. Like Kelsey touchdown, that's like 3 showings of Swift right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um,
At
9.
least.
I
He
do
said
like.
9.
I do like Juwan Jennings 1.5 receptions plus.
I like
He
that one
just pops
too.
up. He's
I
popped
like
up in
that
the
one
first
too.
season.
I like that.
What about Elijah Mitchell yards? 4.5.
I said Elijah Mitchell might. What's the over under?
4.5.
Yeah,
Yam that.
I could see.
Yam that. That's
But
one
it's
carry.
so hard, isn't it? The Super Bowl,
It's
it's
so
so
hard.
weird because
I
they
know.
throw such odd
Use
stuff in.
check half reception.
Yeah, yeah. See, I like
You
use
check
check even.
touchdown.
I could see use check
Use
touchdown.
check touchdown would be crazy money.
Well, he did it in their first time playing against each other in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, use check touchdown.
He would
First,
be paying
first touchdown.
plus
First
950.
touchdown's probably plus 950. That's like 10x basically.
That's awesome.
So throw
I love
5
it.
down on it.
But if you wanted his first touchdown, how do I work that? I gotta work this out in American
Like
money.
+3.
Plus 5,100.
Plus
Okay.
5,100 for use check.
See, I don't know. You guys have weird stats. We have good stats. In Australia, we have it as $51 to 1, which means every dollar you put on it, you win 51.
Yeah, I prefer that to the
There's no-
plus.
Did you just shame our
Yeah.
stats?
No, I
Yeah,
don't
I
like the
s-
plus either.
100%.
I agree with Adrian on that.
Your
The plus is
betting
confusing.
odds and get on the metric system.
They're
Come on, guys.
stupid. Yeah.
I'll talk to my people. We'll get back to you.
Yeah. Put NFL stats. You got
If you
some
could.
pull. Make
If
them
you-
move.
100%.
Yeah, I have so much pull.
Um,
Absolutely.
You're a political figure, Jimmy. We
Guys,
know.
are we about to wrap this show up?
No.
No, because it's the
Yeah,
last
we
one
are. Yeah,
before
we
the
are.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
preview or recap.
Sad music sim.
Please, guys, this has been such an outstanding season. I'm so touched to have been able to share the screen with you for the majority of it. I miss Brian McFadden. I miss Anthony Weiner. I miss everybody who we've shared this outstanding platform with. But thank the Lord that we have it. Thank the Lord that we have each other. Thank the Lord that we have the fans, Armand, Titan Maximum, all the go-tos, all the greatest hits. You know, I'm talking to Cato, I'm talking Joe Crack, I'm talking,
Papa Philip Fox. Can't
yeah.
forget Papa Philip Fox.
Can't forget PK Martini Sr. Legend. Yeah, it's been an outstanding season, and trust us, we're not going anywhere. We'll see you once a week for 52 weeks out of the year. It's just what we do. Guys, anything you want to say before we wrap this sucker up?
Football just doesn't hit the same when you don't have like a show on Friday night, like after, right before the Super Bowl. I feel like I'm ready to watch the Super Bowl now with like kind of those like stat vision goggles. So I can
Yep.
I don't
You're
even know,
locked in.
forget what it's called, like the next year in stats. I'll just have that focus.
You're locked
I'll be
in.
watching, like everybody else will be drinking, having a good time, eating buffalo chicken dip, all that stuff. I'll
Love
just be,
buffalo chicken dip. Good
I'll
call.
just be looking at my parlay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
put that in Red Soul Cup and travel with it.
Love that. Love
I've
that.
done that before. I'll do it again.
I
All
love
right,
it.
but I just love this time with my bros,
It's the
with
best.
the audience, with all you guys. So I appreciate it.
No, we are going to. I'd love to say we're going to miss you all, but we will be seeing you, so we won't even have the chance to miss you. You guys are going to get sick of us by the time we end up missing you. Shout out to Armand. He wants to get his prediction in there. Chiefs win 28-20. Armand, you're my guy, man. I love you, but your obsession with the Chiefs is bordering on weird. You got to work on that. You're a Jets fan.
I'm with you on Jake Moody.
Don't root for
I'm
the
with him on
AFC.
missing.
Don't root for
I'm
the
with him on
AFC.
Jake Moody missing.
Let's bet on a doink. Let's bet on a doink.
Dude, I was actually going to put
Have to
money
bet.
on an extra point being missed because I just don't trust Jake Moody. I said it before, and I said, go get Robbie Gould back anyway.
Yeah.
We've wrapped up the Super Bowl. That's in the past now.
This is yesterday. The hay is in the
Yeah.
barn. All we have now
It
is a
is.
game and some commercials, guys.
All I will say to everyone out there is that if you earn money off our bets here, just saying,
Kick a little up.
kick that upstairs.
We'll post our Venmo next week. We'll post our Venmo. You can
But we
Venmo
love you
the
guys,
legit-
and we'll be back next week, obviously.
Yeah, you can Venmo the legit analyst who helps you the best with your bets. Are we ready to close this sucker up?
Let's do it,
Let's do
baby.
it.
Jimmy Ray, Adrian Revito, Kevin Phillip Fox. This has been the Super Bowl preview, Legit Football NFL podcast, and we are out.